Creep blocking is an essential skill to learn to gain an advantage over the opponent from the very start of the game. In this video, I'll show you what creep blocking is, why it's important, and also show you how to do it. I creep block in every single game, and it really helps to relieve some pressure in the lane, so follow along and soon you'll be able to do it too. Now if you find this video helpful, please make sure to hit the like button, and if you want more videos like this, hit the subscribe button as well. Alright, no more video blocking, let's get started. Alright, now creep blocking is basically the practice of slowing down the creeps by blocking them with your hero. The main reason for doing this is so that you shift to the point where your creeps meet the enemy creeps towards your tower. This relieves some pressure off you, making last hitting easier, reducing the chance that you'll take harass or be ganked, and also gives you more opportunity to gank your enemies. No doubt, your enemies will also be trying to creep block the creeps to bring them closer to their tower, making it harder for you and also making you vulnerable, so it's very important that you creep block to keep the creeps near your tower. Be careful not to overdo it though, because creep blocking too much causes the enemy creeps to be under your tower, pushing out the lane and making it harder for you to last hit. Each lane is slightly different and also varies between Dire and Ancient, so I'll show you how to do it in various lanes so that you can replicate it in your own games. Alright, now the trick to blocking is to constantly move in a zigzag while pressing stop repeatedly, so the creeps hit you and try to run around. The creeps will often spread out at this point, so you will need to zigzag to stop them from going past you. When the creeps spread out, you might also need to run forward a little bit so that when the creeps come back together, it's easier to start blocking them again. There are also two methods of camera control when you creep block. The first method is to move your camera with your mouse by either dragging it or edge panning. I mainly do it this way, but it's probably a little bit harder and causes you to make more errors as you need to move the mouse more. The second, easier way is to lock your camera to your hero while you move, so all you need to concentrate on is moving and stopping. To lock your camera, double press your select hero button and then hold it down after the second press. Now when you move, the camera should follow your hero without you moving it. A good way to practice creep blocking is to open up a custom lobby, choose the team you want to be on and enable cheats. The cheats will allow you to teleport around the map at free will and also spawn creeps to every lane whenever you want. Now I've put a link to a list of cheats in the description, so make sure you check them out. Alright, so once you're in game, select your hero and then just start practicing your creep blocks to whichever lanes you like. I also suggest trying out different heroes, as each hero has a different movement speed, different turn rate, and different sized player models, which all affect how difficult it might be to creep block. Alright, in the mid lane on Ancient side, you want to start just next to your tower and then start moving forwards once the creeps spawn. One creep will usually split away from the pack, and you can either try to block whichever creep is in front and then move across to the other creeps, but usually I find that it's easier just to run in front of the creeps near the tier 2 tower and start the block from there. Once you get better at it, you can start the block earlier. For the Ancient safe lane, I'll usually start the block around where you would get your easy pull. Blocking earlier may cause you to miss one of the creeps and then potentially miss a last hit. Also, it's really easy to overblock the creeps here, especially if the offlaner doesn't block at all, so it's best to just start just before your tier 1 tower. Now when you're the offlaner on Ancient side, you're usually contesting the enemy's rune or just picking up your own. So from here, I'll try to block the creeps from around the tier 1 or tier 2 towers. Earlier is better here though, because this is the hardest lane and you want the creeps to be as close to your tower as possible. For Dire mid, start in the middle of the bottom of the stairs to your high ground. The creeps will spawn in front of the tower and you want to start moving forward as soon as they spawn. From here, the block is pretty straightforward, you just want to zigzag back and forth and press the stop button to block the creeps. Now on the Dire safe lane, I find that blocking this lane earlier than the Radiant safe lane is usually okay, because people block the Radiant offlane slightly more than the Dire offlane. Here, after getting the rune, I'll run up past the easy camp and then towards the tier 2 tower to then start my block as normal. Now for some reason I find the Dire offlane harder to block than the other lanes, because just after the tier 1 tower, the creeps start to do this weird zigzag which often catches me off guard. Now I'll usually start this creep block around the tier 1 tower, but if you can do it earlier that's better. For me though, I just seem to screw this one up all the time, so if you can do this one, that's really good. Now as a bonus tip, you can also use abilities to block creeps and stop them from moving forward, and this works especially well in the off lane. Now I find the best hero for this is Earthshaker, as you can just block them in with a fissure. But you can also use clockwork cogs, but it's a little bit harder to pull off and the creeps need to be closer together so you can catch them in your cogs. Congratulations guys, you're now professional creep blockers. Alright, make sure you hit the like button, share this with a friend as well if you think there's someone who could learn to block better. And if you want more videos like this, make sure you subscribe and ring the bell to get notifications every time I upload a new video. Before you go, leave a comment below on your favourite lane. Mine's probably mid lane, but I also play the safe lane quite a lot because I like to play the carry role. Thanks everyone, I'm Blake Unlively and happy gaming.